You're listening to Parasearch UK Radio. News, views and reviews from the world of the paranormal from across the UK and beyond. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and the World Wide Web. Parasearch UK Radio.
The views and opinions expressed by presenters and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Parasearch UK Radio or its affiliates and sponsors. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to the Great Paranormal Debate with hosts Kerry and Paur on Parasearch UK Radio.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Great Paranormal Debate Series 2. How about that, Kerry? We made it to Series 2.
I know. Could you believe they let us carry on?
No.
Oh, do you know what? I was really sad when it comes to an end last year. I really enjoyed this show. I really enjoy doing shows with you, but I'm really glad. I'm glad to be back, firstly, from a little bit of a break, but it's also great to do a show with you.
Absolutely. Do you know what? It is really nice to have a bit of a break. I don't get many of them.
I've had a really long one. Really long break from the paranormal. But I miss it. And then I keep coming back in, flirting on the edge, dancing with the devil a little bit, and then I kind of scoot off again.
Absolutely. And I think just because it's a series of 12 shows, I think it's just enough, isn't it?
I can definitely dance to the devil for that long.
Yeah.
Before I shoot off again, before I find something else to do. No, I've missed you guys. It's been so much fun trying to get into this, and I'm really looking forward to it.
We've missed you too. You're part of the furniture, really.
I'd rather go with family, the emotional connection, but we can go with furniture. I'm useful.
Well, you know, we all have furniture. We all have it. So.
Yeah. True that. So, yeah, you know.
So what have you been doing in your break?
Well, I'm studying psychology, which is absolutely amazing. So I've been finding fun, amazing, and magical, wonderful, and weird ways to apply psychology to all the paranormal fun I have, which is, you know, great fun. And I've been doing my degree, so that's been quite time consuming. And then just whatever, you know, I have going on the outside of that, I just fit in where I can, which is usually like normal, you know, stuff like sleeping, eating and breathing. Yeah. But it's been amazing. Absolutely love it. So I'm in my second year and coming up towards the end. So as I go further along into my degree, the more intense the workload is.
Absolutely, but it'd be worth it in the end.
Oh, yes. Just for me to be able to do crazy paranormal experiments, being able to use psychology as well. Be like the mad doctor.
I was going to say, so they turn you into the mad scientist.
Yeah, just call me. I was going to say just call me Frankenstein, but that's the wrong one.
I think it is Frankenstein because it's Frankenstein's monster, isn't it? I think.
There you go. That's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go with Frankenstein. But
awesome.
Yeah. What was the little funny thing you said underneath that?
No, nothing. Right. So let's start the show then, really. What news stories have you been listening to?
Oh, I've missed this part. I have found the most weird and wonderful and crazy kind of stories, and that's been in the news as well, which makes it even better that it made the news. It makes it that much more satisfying that it actually made the news. But the first one I want to go for, so I want to just address this. Is it an issue? It's an issue I have, but it definitely is a situation we're going to refer to it. As I'm looking for all this amazing evidence that all the hundreds and thousands of investigators that we have in the UK and the worldwide, you know, as I'm looking for all your amazing evidence that has made it into the newspapers, I have found one for every 10 articles of celebrities joining us. What is that about?
Do you know what? I don't know. It's not just in the paranormal either, is it? That the celebrities seem to be getting on all the shows. I mean, Catchphrase was one of them. They did Celebrity One of that now.
Yeah.
Celebrity Pointless.
Yeah. It frustrates me though. I mean, when you look at, know that it's branching off into all types of media, and celebrities bring the milkshake. No, the milkshake brings the boys to the yard. Well, the celebrities are the milkshake, aren't they? They definitely bring the boys to the yard. The problem we're having though is how is that affecting paranormal? How is that affecting our serious research people? Our scientific approaches? How is it helping us by having the likes of Geordie Shore screaming in the most secret bunker in the world?
I think people like watching people scared. That's what it is, and. You know, celebrities doing ghost hunts. All that's doing is piquing people's interest. That's all. I don't think it's having an effect on any paranormal investigation teams because we just ignore it.
Of course, but how our research? How is that by being taken by people outside of our field? How are we being perceived now? I know this is something that was stigma we kind of are faced with day to day anyway. I know myself when I tell people that I'm a paranormal researcher, people don't, they just think I'm Ghostbuster with my proton pack. So I know we have that stigma anyway. I'm aware of that, but I just think that it's doing a lot of damage. My personal opinion is it's doing damage.
See, no, I don't think it is. I can understand what you're coming from, but people have got that idea of us anyway, and there's a lot of people that come to us and they have they think they got paranormal activity in their house and they want us to come in and do a live episode of Most Haunted in their living room. That's sort of where a lot of people go with that. They don't understand that there's a lot of research that goes into it. There's a lot of time involved. It's not just like something you can do on a one-off scale.
Okay, that's fair enough. I understand that. I understand that is an aspect. But all right, let's look at it this way. When you do see these celebrity shows, and I'm going to sound a little bit like a little female rant going on right about here, but
we've got an hour. It's fine.
Oh, we might need more than an hour, but I'm gonna. Put it out there. Where are our strong female paranormal sisters taking control, being the lead, having the male celebrities scream like a little girl because something has flown in the attic or something, like a bat or a bird, or they've seen a mouse? Why is it always this nice, strong kind of male presence, and that's the lead, and then you have like a group of little girls running around screaming? That bothers me as well.
But then that's just who these people are, isn't it?
It just frustrates me. I'm a little bit angry about this, Paul.
Okay.
I'm a little bit peeved. I would like to know other people's opinions. How are celebrities damaging or misrepresenting? How does the misrepresentation of these paranormal shows have an effect, if any? Because if you're like Paul, you'll believe that there isn't. But do you believe, if any, there's an effect on the paranormal research and the paranormal researchers out there that are trying to move forward within our field, and in regards to notoriety? And
no, I didn't say there wasn't any. I just think that we are already perceived as most haunted people.
I agree. No, I do agree there. I do think so. Yeah. But anyway, moving on swiftly on. It is the media. It's still media. It is talking about what's going on right now, currently within the paranormal in regards to how it's being perceived, in different types of media platforms. But I did watch the new ghost show. Which one is it with Rylan?
Oh yeah, that's the ghost celebrity one, wasn't it? I think.
Oh, I watched for about half hour. That was giving it, and then I apologise. And then I sincerely apologise to myself for even putting myself through that.
Only you.
I did, but I'm sorry I've done this to you, Kerry Ann. We both didn't deserve that. I was really wrong in my thought process with this, and I hope you can forgive me. And to which I said, in time.
Yeah.
In time, I will.
So I don't tend to watch any TV shows whatsoever because they just annoy me so much.
Oh, I'm a hypocrite because they are my guilty pleasure. Like, I moan about them. I'm not a problem with them. But I'm like, when I see it when I look through the TV guide on the TV, I'm like, ooh, that's a bit me. But it's not. I lie to myself every time, and then I have to take a moment and be like, why did I do that?
Well, the only time I ever, I think it was the most haunted episode when they were at Shrewsbury Prison, because we was at Shrewsbury Prison the week before. So
Okay.
one of our team members said, "Oh, did you watch Most Haunted when they were at Shrewsbury Prison?" I was like, "No." So I don't watch it. And she said, "Oh no, you got to watch it. It's really good." I was able to watch it for 12 minutes before turning it off. It annoyed me that much.
My best part of that conversation was the fact you digress. No. I don't watch that rubbish. It wasn't enough to go, no, I never. No, I didn't. No.
No. She said, "No, you got to watch it. It's really good. They captured some of the same evidence we did." And I was like, well, they probably just notes. But she's like, "No, you got a debt." So, yeah. I watched 12 minutes and then turned it off with a big hammer through the middle of the screen.
You know, everyone's entitled to their own opinions. Some people like that. Some people like them kind of shows. Some people don't. Oh yeah, I don't know. It's a guilty pleasure. I like them, but it's like a car crash. You know, you don't want to watch it. You can't look away.
Yeah.
That's car crash TV. It is for me. Oh, I'm like, oh no. I still watch it either way. For that half hour, and I was like, no, admit that you're wrong here, and I did reluctantly. I admitted it to myself.
As long as you're honest to yourself, that's all that counts.
It's all that matters.
That's the moral of the story.
Moral of the story. That's all that matters, and Kerry Ann is slightly crazy. And has a lot of conversations that involve only her.
Best way of intelligent conversation, a bit.
Intense. It gets intense, but you know, I make it through.
Okay.
But I tell you what I did find when I was looking through all these mass of different kind of shows that are coming out at the moment and celebrity stuff happening. I did come across this news article. I'm not sure how old it is actually. It's definitely in 2018. It was our 5th February. It's only a couple of days. And it's regarding Caroline is 80, and she went on a retreat. Anyone else has seen this or this evidence? Now, I will say it is my favourite kind of evidence. You know, the one that's got the arrow pointing to it with a big red circle, and then just in case you're not quite sure, the red circle is circling or the arrow is pointing, a description text that is written on top of the photo. And it is the video, and on the video it says, "I just filmed outside my window, and what the hell is this creepy thing?" Excuse the language, I do apologise. And the video itself, you can see what looks to me, if you to describe it exactly how you see it, it looks like someone's flipped like a sheet, but it's not a sheet. It's more transparent, like smoky. I don't know what it is. She said that she started to record because she'd seen some flashing lights. It was recorded over Osea Island. It's an island in the estuary of River Blackwell, Essex. Big shout out to Essex.
Yeah.
Which is this is actually an exclusive holiday resort. And she was there at the retreat. And she said that she saw some lights that she decided to start flickering. She was standing in the dark. Caroline filmed outside her window as some lights flickered. But things took a scary turn as a white light suddenly appeared. Now, I don't necessarily believe this is a white light. From what I've seen, if this is what it's referring to, it does look like moving, like smoke kind of texture looking. Now, I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm not saying it's paranormal either. There's lots of possible explanations that I'm sure, Paul, you'll digress. You've seen this video. What do you think?
I have seen the video, and I don't know. I don't know what it is, to be fair. It could. I think it could either be some sort of maybe jet of water. It looks like a jet of water, to be fair.
What, you mean sprinklers?
Yeah.
Are you sure that's what you mean?
Yeah, no, it's something like that. I mean, it might be more like a fireman's hose type, because obviously there's a bit more to it than just a little sprinkle of water.
Yeah. And it's very defined as well. Because what happened was I watched the video and kept pausing it until I was at a point where you could fully see what she's trying to capture. I then screenshotted that and I lightened the picture because it's really dark, and I lightened it and kind of like sharpened the image, and you can kind of see it a little bit better. So what I do is, Paul, you've got a copy of that, haven't you? So if you could post that on the like page and the group, people might be able to have a look for themselves.
Yeah,
and
I will do.
We will be posting the article as well inside of the chat room. So have a look and leave a comment on what you think it is as well. But yeah, I mean, it's on the coast as well. How close to the coast are we? Is it right on top of the seafront?
I think that where it is, I think, isn't near Malden.
Right. Okay.
Because the River Black goes that way, doesn't it? I think. So yeah, I think it is sort of on the coast at Malden.
So I'm just wondering whether, I mean, this is you're given a little snippet of a image, and you don't know where in comparison that is to other surroundings. So is there sprinklers going on? It's at night time. They do put sprinklers on at night depending on the weather. So, but then it's been cold, so maybe not. Maybe it weren't sprinklers. Smoke. It does look like smoke. People are vaping quite a lot. What was she doing outside in the first place? What was you doing outside, Caroline? Outside in the dark on a retreat on your own?
That's it. Having a bit of vape.
Was you vaping?
Yeah.
I can smell strawberries. Smells like strawberries to me, Paul.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be the sceptical one. I know exactly what you mean. I don't think it's a vape, because if you look at vape clouds, obviously it's coming from one point and it expands out. But that particular wisp of smoke doesn't sort of expand anywhere, and it stays constant.
If you watch it, it's a repeat of the same over and over again. Now, if you go onto Snapchat, you can create these small snippets of video that replay over itself.
Yeah.
All you need is like a second of recording to keep replaying over itself for it to look like it's not expanding. In fact, it could be that. The only thing that I wonder is, if you look at the photo itself, it looks to have like a strong line, and then it kind of fades out.
Yeah.
So long ways, there's a really strong line, and it kind of fades out. So that's the only thing that I don't know. I will say I don't actually know.
To be fair, it does travel quite fast as well, because it's literally over the second.
It could still be a Snapchat thing though, because it doesn't speed things up. So I'm a Snapchat user at all.
Yeah, I mean, that is a possibility, to be fair.
But that seems to be the go-to app at the moment when it comes to recording. And it records quite quickly, it calls a snippet, and then you just replay it over and over and over again. So, but yeah, I mean, I still found it interesting enough to talk about it, because I did, like I said, come across a lot of articles that I weren't too sure about. But this did make the Sun. Of course it is, because it's Caroline Flack. But it did intrigue me a little bit. But it's in the chat room, and we have that image as well that we're going to share as well. So have a look and give your opinions. We'd love to know what you think as well, and we can discuss it on another show if you want to.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
So what have you come across, Paul?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, let's go back.
Actually, no. I'll tell you what. Right, I think we should talk about the 30 East Drive.
Oh, the phantom. There's almost the phantom of the article. We're going to call this, right? Because it's almost as phantom as the Black Monk. Where has it gone?
It's on holiday. Didn't anyone get the memo?
But where is the article gone? I cannot find the article. I cannot find the article of the cleansing.
No, to be fair, but it's still floating about out there in cyberspace. And I can't remember the guy. But yeah, I do remember reading the article, and it said like he apparently cleansed the building 30 Years Drive.
Have you started recording? I thought you'd.
Dear.
And I actually Alright, tell me when you're recording.
Okay, let's start now. I can't remember the guy's name, but yeah, I remember reading the article about him doing it. I really don't get why he done that, because the whole Drive case was way back in the 60s. So I don't think there is anything still there. The house isn't used, so there aren't any reports of new paranormal activity other than what paranormal teams experience when they're in there. But who's to say that they're not bringing in the spirits with them?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, with this article, there's two things that I found this really interesting, right? So the first part of this article that I found quite interesting was that it told us a lot about the people that read this article and their stance on paranormal. So you had two types of camp, shall we say. So we had the camp that was basically saying, we aren't meant to do these type of things in a location without asking permission, or accept the fact that if a spirit is there, then they have every right to be there, and who are we to move them on? Now, this will be under the assumption, you've got to remember, this is the thing, this is under the assumption that spirit's real. So it told you a lot about the people that were talking about this article, because a lot of what was being said was under the assumption of them being not real or real. So it told me a lot about the discussions I was having with people regarding their stance within the paranormal. So that I found quite, like, removing the actual 30 Years Drive and what had gone on, I found that fascinating, because a lot of people will tell you whether they believe or don't believe, because that's what they want you to know about them. But it's the actions of people that aren't digressing that, but are expanding on their views, that it doesn't necessarily tally up. Yeah. So if you've got someone saying to me paranormal, that spirits aren't real, but how dare he go into that location and banish a spirit that has every right to be there? How conflicting is that?
It is conflicting, definitely. But I do agree that they shouldn't have done it, simply because they haven't got the owner's permission to do it.
That's a completely different style, though, because that is actually saying, we have to be respectful as people, not as paranormal investigators. If you're going into someone else's home, I would never dream of going into someone else's home and deciding to paint a room a different colour than what it is because I decided that was best for that person. Yeah. I'm not saying it's not as extreme as that. It's not.
But it's the same. It's the same sort of thing.
He's gone against what was the wishes of the person that owns that building. You don't do that out of common decency, or just out of. It's not even just frowned upon. It's actually really just. You wouldn't do that. So
no, it's down to respect, I think.
Yeah, and knowing your own boundaries, and what position is he in now? What other locations are going to allow that man back into their rooms, their buildings, if that's how he's behaving? Yeah,
none. If they want the spirits to carry on. I mean, at the end of the day, I've gone to people's houses and they've said, the spirit's not bothering us. We just want to research and know more about it.
Which
so that's done. But we've gone to places that have said, we want spirit moved on. Well, we can do that too. But we don't do it without the permission of the homeowner.
No, and it's the same as like when you go somewhere and they say we don't want you to use Ouija boards. Or we don't want you to call out to anyone, or a particular person. We want that person to be left alone. Or you have to. This is why we do the I can't say the word preliminary.
Close enough. Yeah.
Yeah. I still have the speech thing, guys. Still have the speech thing. I can't help it. It's completely out of my. I know what I want to say in my head, but I can't let it come out of my mouth for every reason. But yeah, so it's like when we have that initial meeting. I should have just gone with initial. Why don't I do that? That initial meeting, jeez.
We'll have to do a show on your dictionary.
Oh,
Because it'll be
it's
awesome.
so bad. It's so bad. Yeah, we have that so that we can establish guidelines and we are able to then do something structured. Doing structure, we are able to achieve a lot more. But yeah, just come in with his big, blessed size 8 cross boots, kicked up a little bit, and then kind of just was like, oh, by the way, peeps, just to let you know, sorted the problem out you had. He's gone now. Why? Why did you do that?
I know. And then, let's face it. I mean, if there is something there, then he's just ruined it for everybody.
Yeah, and it went to the newspaper as well. We weren't happy that... See, now, this would have been a great experiment, though. If he had done that and then monitored afterwards without mentioning anything, and he had faith within himself. This is the thing, you can't even document he's done this. You can't... There's no way of even physically being able to say, yeah, this has happened. I know, because, I don't know, things have changed coming here or something. You can't document it in any way, shape or form.
No.
So, it would have been, you could have then furthered your research to say, okay, so what kind of levels of experiences are people having compared to then, there's lots of places he could have took it, but no, he never. He had to do it, and then he had to go, guess what, guys?
But then,
what I did.
Equally, could this have been some sort of publicity stunt?
Yes, I said this as well. Because at the end of the day, sorry, I'm talking some. You can tell that I've not done this for a while, can't you?
You go for it.
Oh, jeez, you could just tell by the end of these 12 shows, I'm going to be like, yeah, whatever.
You're going to need a holiday just to rest your voice.
With that. Yeah. But yeah, I agreed. But I was having this conversation with my friend, and I said, it's one of two things. He's either not messed up, but he's either done something he shouldn't have done, or this is a great publicity stunt between him and the owner. Because back in the newspaper again, people have got there's a new slate to be going, what is happening in there now? The first place my head went to is, what can we do about this now? What can we achieve? Where can we take that next? So I'm not the only person that's thinking like that. There's lots of people out there going, okay, this is a brand new start. What can we do now? So he's just brought in a whole new revenue. So he's either a very clever man.
I think it was a very dangerous move if it was a publicity stunt.
Well, yeah.
Because there could be a lot of companies out there that will think, well, okay, now it's cleansed, we don't need to go there.
No. But what he has made a space for a new ghost.
Well, yeah, there is that.
We've had the Black Monk, so what would we have next?
Well, maybe you could have Kev Kerr's Bob the Orange.
Never heard of Bob the Orange, but he sounds interesting.
Okay.
Kev Kerr, let me into that. I'd like send me some information about Bob the Orange. Let's see if we can make it happen.
Well, I mean, there was a clip that Kev Kerr posted ages ago now. It was an experiment with the box.
Right.
And he drew a face on an orange, and he started talking to this orange, and he got responses through the ghost box. Hence, Bob the Orange. Bob the Orange was born.
Are we suggesting that the orange was communicating?
Yes, that was the gist of it. And so Bob the Orange was born, made famous, and now he should reside in 30 East Drive. Not.
We should take Bob the Orange there.
Yeah.
Do you reckon it still exists? Like Bob the Orange, do you reckon he's still...
I think we should have a word with Kev Kerr and then make Bob the Orange an official...
Bob the Orange goes on tour?
Yeah.
This is why we should talk, Paul. This is where magic happens. Can you see what he's just done? With the help of Kev Kerr, I can't take full credit for Bob the Orange being on tour. But, this is what's happened. We could go all over the place with Bob the Orange.
We could, absolutely. Take photographs and he could be our official mascot or something. That'd be awesome.
Magic has happened. This definitely feels like a drop mic situation.
Absolutely. But not just yet, because we've still got another half hour of the show.
No, because I've got another story. Oh, do we have a break first?
No, we don't do breaks.
We don't do breaks anymore?
No, we're on a roll, aren't we? Come on, let's go.
Wow.
I did have a break, but I don't tend to use it that much because I talk too much as well on my show. So I sort of got rid of the break.
Okay, you made an executive decision. I like this.
Yes, absolutely. So go for it. Keep going. We're on a roll.
Okay. So I found this article, which I was like, how did I miss this? Because I have been searching articles for most of the afternoon, and I hadn't found it. And it was like a little gem, and I was like, what? How did I not find this article? Because obviously I have a lot of conversations about myself. And it's amazing. So, oh, jeez, I love it. Toy Terror, a Cornish psychic group, has asked its members if they can pick up any messages from this haunted doll. What does she say to you? Oh, I'm like, yes, Cornish paranormal group. Yes, they're psychic, but they also call it North Cornwall Paranormal. Ask their Facebook followers if they are able to tune into the aura of a mysterious old doll. I know what you're thinking, Paul. Amazing.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, don't tell poor kids, alright? Don't tell poor kids. I know you. I don't know yourself. A group of paranormal investigators have asked for help picking up psychic messages from a haunted doll. North Cornwall Paranormal shared a picture of an auburn-haired doll and asked their Facebook community of 15,000 ghost hunters if they were able to tune in to the object and help unlock her secret. NCP leader posted one of the psychic sensitive mediums. This is an alleged haunted doll that I acquired. Do you sense anything? Names, emotions. Will be interested to hear your thoughts. People's responses were varied. Now, this is what they all felt. They said that they felt uneasy when they saw her. I see the word instability when I look at her, and it makes my head achy. They even made up words to just love it. I honestly love this article. I don't like it either. I felt very uncomfortable just looking at his picture, said one woman. I sense very unhappy feelings, said another. I feel fear. One said I sense a little called Alice, very scared little girl that would sit in the corner of a room. Don't feel good vibes though at all. Another one said a door, 1800s, woman walking in the street, Scotland, Chinese. Maybe I'll try again later. I mean, it's really interesting. I can't even tell you. Like right now,
there are so many haunted dolls out there, or alleged haunted dolls.
Let's just focus on this amazing haunted doll, alleged haunted doll.
The only thing I feel is suicidal because I want to cut my wrist because there's another haunted doll on the thing.
That escalated quite quickly, Paul. There
was just so many of them, and I mean, if you read the article as well, they're just doll mad.
All right, so
they've got thousands of dolls. Why pick that one?
Well, why not?
Because it was ugly.
Oh wow!
No, I don't need dolls. Horrible things.
Well, I want to kind of talk about why I find this article so amazing, right? So, firstly, as if we've got some old listeners and long-time followers. I am a sensitive. I call myself a training medium just because I have been doing it for a time, but not really, taking it much further than just popping out on investigations and stuff like that. So I find this fascinating because of the fact that they do this psychic reading. Now, as a believer of psychic ability, and not all psychic ability, I am very kind of like open-minded, closed-minded at the same time, and that kind of conundrum. And I do believe in it. So I personally believe that you're able to read someone's energy just by engaging your own energy, right? So I can tell pretty much how I feel about someone in the first instances just because I believe in my own energy and kind of pick up on things because of that.
Well, we can all do that. It's called first impressions.
Is it? That's your interpretation. Doesn't make you right or wrong. Doesn't make you right or wrong, alright? So, alright, let's just put that out there. That's your interpretation of psychic ability. So, this is what I find fascinating. They're actually using psychic ability to interpret. What I love about this is that they've got so many, maybe Scottish Chinese, like, yeah, you're going to put the two of them together. So they're getting such a broad kind of spectrum of ideas. Now, if you was to use experiments like the Philip experiment, for example, when they took a inanimate space and created a manifestation of spirit, what they've basically done is stuck a doll in front of 15,000 people and was like, focus your energy onto this doll and tell me what you pick from this doll. What are you creating? What is manifesting? Are you picking? Well, I don't know. Is it, or are they manifesting something that, quite honestly, could be each other? Are you picking up on each other? Are you creating something there? Like, what is going on? I still think it's an amazing article. I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing what they're doing with the doll. I mean, yeah, there's so many haunted dolls out there. There's so many. I mean, I'm like quite. I don't like haunted dolls. I know you don't believe in them, but I don't even like going on websites talking about haunted dolls.
See, for me, people that have the psychic ability, they work on different vibration levels. So what you would pick up isn't necessarily what someone else would pick up. So therefore, you're going to get different levels of feelings, emotions, and all that sort of stuff to do with this doll. It's not going to be the same. So
well, there is psychic ability, is different vibration, but it's different vibration to mediumship. That's the two different vibrations. So if you're working psychically, it's my understanding it's the same vibration, but people have different interpretations of what they're seeing and experiencing.
Yeah.
But the problem is you're focusing your psychic energy into the same place. Are you picking up each other's psychic energy, or are you picking up that of the doll? If you believe in that type of thing, which obviously I do. Like, what? Yeah.
Well, again, that is a possibility.
But I don't know. I don't even know why I was so excited about it. I'm talking about it, actually. I'm like, all right. I did read, when I'm reading through, I was like, this is amazing. There's so many different possibilities that's going on here. There's so many kind of like, the fact that the thing is, they've already said to them, now, if they had said, here's 4 dolls, could you pick out a haunted one? That would be different if they all picked out that doll.
Absolutely.
But they said, this is an alleged haunted doll. So they're already putting that in people's mind, this is haunted.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's where they're not the beginning of it all. And now you've got all these people, this group, mass, thousands of people, all now under the impression it's haunted. Where's that taking them?
Well, they're just 15,000. I bet there's like 6.
Well, let's go. Why are you downplaying it? What are you doing to me? Bad enough you don't believe it.
There is actually a poll on the newspaper clipping of this, and I took part, and I put no. I didn't get anything from that doll. And 60, I think it was 60-something%
65.
agreed, and there was like 24% said
25
yes.
now.
Okay.
I suggest.
So that's still quite a small percentage.
Well, there's 10% that says I think it's trying to, but I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know.
But I like your idea of having the 4 dolls and saying one of these dolls is allegedly haunted. Which one do you think it is? I think that would work a lot better than they done.
So let's do this experiment, Paul. Let's me and you create this experiment. We're going to try, we'll speak to Kerry, make sure it's okay first, but we'll do this and we'll do a poll. Or
Yeah,
we'll do
I think we can. Well, I think we could do that.
Yeah, and we'll let it run until next week.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Because you have actually got an alleged haunted doll, haven't you?
I have. Yes.
So we'll say alleged doll, but it's not so much a doll. So we'll put a collection of and people can pick what they think is the alleged haunted one, and we'll see how we go.
Okay, what I can do, I'll pick out 4 items.
Yes.
And then I'll take a picture of it and put out a poll and say which one of these items do you think has an attachment. Perfect.
Let's do that, and we'll see how we get on.
Yeah, and we'll do the results for next week.
Oh yes, I knew I had a good feeling about that article, Paul.
That's a good idea. We'll do that.
Yes, magic happening.
Yes,
so,
indeed.
I do have to say this. Moving on, sadly, but I know I'm happy about it because we can talk about it again. But moving on, I want to talk about something I found that I'm not sure whether this is true or not, which makes me sad. But nevertheless, it's interesting. And it isn't so much evidence-based, but it's something that's going on in the media and coming up. So I'm a massive Simon Pegg and Nick Frost fan. Do you like them?
I do, absolutely. And I think the best film they ever done, there's two of them, Shaun of the Dead and Paul.
Oh, I love Paul. And then my other one, I love Paul. And also I like Hot Fuzz. But
I wasn't too keen on Hot Fuzz because they tried to mimic the Shaun of the Dead with certain gags, tried to carry it on.
I think we should leave that there.
Yeah, okay.
Before I get a bit emotional. But
it was still a good film, nonetheless.
It's amazing. I love the films. So they're now saying the stars of Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Paul and World's End are hoping to explore more weirdness. Verity reports that Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are currently developing a TV show called Truth Seekers, a half-hour horror comedy about a team of paranormal investigators. Each episode is going to be an adventure, a potential haunting or something, Pegg told Verity. It will start as a very open idea, a very small business venture for these people, but it will expand as the series goes on to be something far more global. It's language everyone understands, the mystery of the unknown. Shaun of the Dead was a similar story set in North London, and somehow it managed to get reached globally because everyone understands the language of zombies. Oh my god! Yeah,
Absolutely. Shaun of the Dead was the best film.
I want to request that they have at least a strong female.
Yeah. So I don't know because obviously they're going to play the two lead parts, aren't they? Obviously.
There's got to be a female in it.
But they will. I'm sure they'd have a female in it because they have on all the others.
It's true. It's true. Oh, but yeah, so I thought I'd share that with everyone because I found that as I was going on, and I love these guys and I love the shows they do, and they do kind of air on like the paranormal and the unknown and the kind of So I'm excited.
So I was also told I read the other day that they're also making another horror-based film.
Really? See, because I was told that they were only planning to do the trilogy or the three of them.
Well, yeah, that's
the horror ones.
They're known as the Cornetto movies.
Right. Okay.
Because obviously in each film somewhere you got Nick eating a Cornetto. But yeah, I was told they're doing another movie. But they're going to, because obviously they've done the zombies, I think it was going to be a vampire film set in a boarding school.
Do you know what? If you told me that I'd enjoy an alien movie, I would have told you no way. So like that, I don't even care that it's a vampire. So I'm really only into like ghosty films. So I've got supernatural, but a ghost in them. Anything else kind of scares the living daylights out of me.
I like my zombie movies. I do like the old zombie films.
Do you know what? It's too real for me.
No, I think that's what it is. I think that's what the appeal is. I think because it can, in theory.
Are you actually going to tell me that there's no such things as ghosts, or no evidence of things as ghosts and mediums and psychics, but you're just about to actually tell me, in theory, there can be zombies?
Technically.
But
yes.
Even that...
If you look into voodoo, you've got there's in some African tribe they've got this drug basically that induces death, but will bring them back in theory.
What?
Seriously, you can look into it. There is some stuff. It slows down their heart so much that it has full. But yeah, anyway, enough of the zombies, because that's just boring. What's the next one we've got?
Right, so our last one, which I picked just for you, because you're my favourite type of person.
Thank you.
My favourite person is the time traveller called Noel. Is it Noel he's called?
Yes, so again, I vaguely remember reading the article.
Okay, so let me refresh your memory. It is about a young man who says that he's actually a time traveller from 2030. His name is Noah, and he makes some really out there claims. Now, there is a video attached to the article, so like the rest of the articles, they will be posted in the chat room, and have a look at the video yourself. But what makes this so different to all the other time travellers that have gone before him?
I should imagine there's loads of them.
Again, so you don't believe in ghosts, but you believe in time travel.
I do think that at the moment, in theory, it's possible that you can travel forwards in time.
But you don't think, in theory, there's possible to have life after life and never-ending spirit that can communicate with us in any way, shape, or form?
Correct.
I'm
yet to be convinced.
Anyway, so this guy, what makes this article so amazing is that he passed a lie detector test.
Okay.
So here's the problems I have with this article. So the guy it reminds me very much of that story about Harry Price and the talking mongoose.
Yep.
Okay, so he believed he had the talking mongoose there, even though he wasn't able to see him, feel him, talk to him, look him in the eye. A couple of times he missed the mongoose on the way out to town. The mongoose had to go and pick some stuff up, and he just missed him.
As you do.
Yeah, and the only time he could actually talk to the mongoose was behind a brick wall in a barn in the middle of nowhere, right? So this kind of reminds me of this. So you've got a guy who you can hear the voice of, but you're not able to see because visually his face is blurred. Even his voice is kind of altered, so you can't actually hear his actual voice.
Right, okay.
You're not sure of where the location is, from my understanding of the polygraph test, and you don't know who is actually conducting this test either. To me, it sounds like a young guy, and it looks like it's being done in a school kind of room, okay. That's what it looks like to me. The guy looks kind of very matter of fact about things. They do throw in a false that he gets just to, keep us on our toes. Yeah. Something does come up as a lie. If he says, are you going to get in trouble for talking to us? And he says, no. But, there is a chance that it could be, but don't worry, I can escape him. And it come back as false. But, now, polygraph tests are actually, you're not even allowed to use these in the UK as evidence, wholly based as evidence, because of the fact that they're not reliable.
No, I think they're like 90% accurate.
Well, if you feel guilty about anything at any time whilst taking the lie detector test, it can implicate the... So if, for example, if you was to be involved in something, but you didn't actually commit the crime, you wasn't there, and they said to you, did you do this? But you felt guilty of the fact that you were there, that wouldn't be enough for it to throw you up as being guilty, because Absolutely. It goes in your body with responses.
It's basically, if you believe what you're saying, then that's how it's going to come across. So,
yes.
Even if, I don't know, you was like totally unstable and said, you lived in a condominium on Mars, and you ask that question. If you believe that, then it'd come back as true.
Even more further to this, though. Now, I was reading this article about an actor who took on the role of the role very seriously and actually embodied the character that they were playing. Yeah, to make it more believable when they portrayed it. So live like act like them, would become that one. Yeah. So if we say that actually these two people aren't, because you haven't got his name, you just know his name's Noah. It doesn't give doesn't actually say that Noah is his real name, but just says it doesn't give his last name. And again, everything's very, very vague. And the only thing that you really know is this guy now lives in South America somewhere. That's all you kind of know. And the information that he predicts is that Donald Trump will be re-elected. That's one of the claims. Yeah, and
they're that silly, some of these voters, I think.
And voters, and that Britcoin, is going to be, is going to be tomato. It's going to be used a little bit more regular, but we still have pennies So don't fret, because we're still going to have pennies.
Of course we are. Good old British penny. We'll have that.
Yeah, I mean, as I'm watching this, as I was watching it go on, and I was watching the video, and I was kind of picking it apart a little bit, I kind of thought to myself, do I believe in time travel? No. Do I believe that this person is telling the truth? He believes he believes enough in his own truth that it's coming out as positive, like he's not lying.
Yeah.
Do I believe that that's what's happening? Yes, I do.
See, now I believe in time travel because I've heard
I've travelled in time myself.
No, I wish. No, well, we're all travelling through time. Let's face it. We're just doing it linear. But I can understand the quantum physics enough to understand Brian Cox's explanation of time travel, as well as Stephen Hawking. I can understand what when they talk about time travel, they're talking about travelling forward in time. Now I can grasp that concept because they explain it so well, but you can't, as yet, travel back in time. You can only travel forward at the moment.
And when you say physics, this is maths, isn't it?
Quantum physics is maths. It's again, I suppose it borders on the realm of science fiction as well, because you've got the whole concept of folding space and stuff like that. It really goes in depth into time and space and wormholes and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, it's fascinating. And I mean, do I believe it? No. Do I believe in the articles that we've come across so far in this episode? Not particularly. There's some interesting things that have gone on. There's lots of things that can't be explained. Are they paranormal? Well, essentially paranormal means the unexplained, so possibly. It depends on your interpretation. But out of all the articles, this is my least favourite. I literally picked it just because I knew it tickled your fancy.
Yeah, it does, absolutely.
It's a bit. It's a bit of you.
I mean, if you think about time and space is in waves, and then if you go through a wormhole, it literally cuts through the middle instead of going all the way around, and that is basically your time travel thesis.
Wow, still don't believe it, but it's interesting. It is interesting, and I mean, as I've already digressed, that I'm on my degree journey. Part of my degree is I have to do maths, and I come across an interesting fact because we were talking about flat Earth theorists, and I was asking my tutor whether he believed in flat Earth, whether he was in fact a flat Earth.
Do you know
theorist.
what? On Tuesday, on the Paranormal Concept Show, I'm actually talking about the flat Earth theory.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh well, this is an interesting little tidbit for you. Right, so I said to him, a lot of the basis of the evidence that people do are the physics or the maths behind things. And he said, I want to show you something really interesting. He said, do you believe 2 equals 1? And I said, no. He said, well, I'm about to do an equation for you. I'll go bit by bit. He said, no, I'll do an equation, and I'll do an equation that equates to 2 equaling 1. I was like, right, so he did it. He'd done this equation, he went through it all, and he did. He said, but we both know 2 equals 1. 2 doesn't equal 1. I said, I know. He said, but I've just done a math equation that states it does. He says, so this is where we need to be careful. Because maths can explain a lot, but it also can be done in such a way that can explain something that's not there. So absolutely. I will ask him to send me that equation, and I will send it to you for your show on Tuesday. And, see what you think.
I think people can make numbers do whatever they want. I mean, Jimmy Carr's accountant. Just look at what happened there.
A dated joke, but a good one. I like that.
Absolutely. Do you know what? I actually saw a video the other day of some right idiot. He was trying to explain why he believes the Earth is flat, and he'd got a football, and he poured water over it. And
I see that.
The water's run off, right?
Yes.
But then he got a plate. He poured the water on, and he's like, see, the water stays on. That's his...
So don't worry about gravity.
Yeah.
Do not worry. That's just neither here or there.
I know, yeah. It was just so funny. It really was.
Oh, I see this as well. Yeah, no, you do get some out there. But then I think if you look for a solution long enough, you'll find it.
Absolutely.
Even
But
if it's a lot of crap.
I don't think they'd ever prove the Earth is flat because it's not.
And that's your opinion. Are you entitled to it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I've got a lot of opinions about those flat Earth theorists. We just won't go there.
There's another show. That's on Tuesday, guys. Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, paranormal concept show, the flat Earth theory.
Yes. But so I just want to recap because we're coming towards the end, and usually we do Paranormal. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm like all storied out, and I've been looking, and I found one which was quite disturbing, which we won't share. Oh, jeez, that was too much for me. Even I was like, nope. Started being a bit kind of like, should I even be on this website? Am I going to wake up tomorrow in some Saw situation because I've come on here? Like, let's just come off this. So so I'm putting it to you guys. I would love to hear your stories. I'd love to be able to share them on a show. So if you contact the like page for Parasearch and leave your story, whether it's true or made up, and the best ones we'll share during Paranormal, and we will credit you as well. So so if you can do that, give us a send in, and I will be reading that next week. We've been doing one a week, but I haven't got one this week.
Yeah,
but we have got enough.
Tag it hashtag Paranormal.
That's what we need. So we've got 2 lots of homework for you guys. Oh, see, you just thought you was going to get a radio show. No, you're getting an experience. And at-home learning, and all sorts of going on.
Experiments.
That's it. So we've got
experiments.
That's our. So next week, for next, we would love to hear your stories, and then also after this show, Paul will be setting up the experiment, the radio experiment, which is going to be which, if any, of the items in the photo is allegedly haunted. And this is going back to the article we shared about the Cornish paranormal group that was sharing the alleged haunted doll. And we want to see, can this happen? Are we able to pick up on vibes through the computer screen? Is there such thing as psychic ability? Now, we're not asking to prove your psychic ability, but we're asking you to anonymously have a go. Click. We're going to do the poll, so we won't, just yes or no, or which one, A, B, C, or D. And if you would like to digress further and tell us what you pick up from that doll, Paul has a history of, or say doll, item. Paul has a history of the item, so he would be able to confirm whether you're picking up what you are is right or not.
Absolutely.
So that's going to go live after this show, and also send me your stories. I want to share them. So for next week's Paranormal, and we'll credit you as well.
Absolutely, indeed. So, yeah, we've come to the end of the show. How was that for you, Kerry?
It was. I feel like I've been on a journey.
You have? What a ride.
What a ride.
It's good to be back. It's good to have you back anyway.
It's been fun. I've missed it. I've definitely missed it, and I enjoy it. I love it. Well, and I love doing this to you. I missed you.
Oh, we all missed you too.
No. I said I missed you.
Oh, I missed you too.
I missed you too. Yeah, and I missed everyone else as well. I needed that clarification before. I needed to know where we were in this relationship.
Absolutely. Oh, it's all been good, and I'm looking forward to the other shows we're going to do. Maybe make it more permanent if we're able to.
Yes, that'd be great.
Shall see. We shall see what the future holds. But in the meantime, I want to thank everybody that's been in the chat room, and thank you, Kerry, for returning.
Oh, see you next week.
See you all next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to join us for more shows throughout the week. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and the World Wide Web to keep up to date with all the shows right here on Parasearch Radio.